Mark had 215 Formula One starts. He won 9 Grands Prix. He took 13 pole positions, 19 fastest laps and 42 podiums. Only 4 Australians have won Formula One Grands Prix. Interestingly, 7 world champions won fewer Grands Prix than Mark. Well, good evening everybody, and good evening Mark. It's great to be able to have a conversation with you tonight. Your first race in Formula One, 5th place in Melbourne in 2002. How special was that?
Yeah, I think the emotion from the fans, I'll never forget that. Obviously I won some Grand Prix, which was incredible. But just in my home race to feel, it was like a bloody victory in a way. Even Ferrari knew that they had to come down and have a photo with me, because they were definitely not going to have Michael won the race, but he needed a photo with us to make sure he got on the front page the next day. Yeah, it was me, and the Williams mechanics, they carried on with it. How easy to start? You mean off the grid? Yeah. Horrendous. Yeah.
From the outside, your relationship with Sebastian Vettel seems pretty complex, and for Mark Webber fans, it's easy to paint Seb as the villain. But it seems the real villain, or maybe the puppet master, was actually someone else.
It started as early as 2010, obviously, in terms of the tricky scenario inside the team then. And even when I had the momentum, even when I was probably leading the championship, it was still sort of all about probably trying to keep Seb in the game. But Sebastian and I now, we spoke in Monaco. I went down to the Grand Prix and I was there and I met him up in the hotel. We covered everything, and I got a few of his, a few things from his side in terms of, he wasn't happy with how certain things were from his side, and so the reflection of him in the book now, obviously, that's 5 years ago already. See the time they did, and they're like, I've got to go back out and find 3 tenths. Like, where am I going to find that? And so you go back out and you find 4 tenths and you're a tenth quicker, and like that. I'm like, that is it. And he goes back out and finds another 2 tenths, and you're like, shit. Where am I going to find that now? I think, we've been a good team, but I think she's played more of a role in my success than I have in my success.
But racing an F1 car seems almost incomprehensible. What's it actually like to race at Monaco?
For me, I always looked at Monaco as me, myself, racing against the track. I never went to Monaco generally and thought that I need to race the competitors. I'm ready for those last 2 big laps in qualifying, where you just got to absolutely put everything on the line and risk everything. Risk the car, risk yourself, risk basically to try and get as far up the grid as possible. The track that has kept all of its DNA and all its originality and all of its brutalness and how hard it is to compete there is Suzuka in Japan. It's narrow, it's fast, and it's got some really, really hard corners in a Formula One car. At the moment, I'm using all of my motivation and energy just to stay in the cars over there, and I think when I do eventually stop, it'll be properly. So yeah.